Mahatma Gandhi, The Power of Simple Living and Self-Sufficiency. Have you ever considered the immense power held within the folds of simplicity? The way a single, pure note can resonate more profoundly than a whole symphony of noise. My name is Mahatma Gandhi, and I have walked a path that many found unconventional. My life has been a testament to the principle that true strength and profound peace come not from excess and opulence, but from the deliberate choice of simplicity and self-sufficiency. Let's explore together the first lesson on this path, the intrinsic value of simplicity in our lives. Simplicity is not merely an absence. It is the presence of the bare, the unadorned, the essential. It is the chalice that holds the elixir of tranquility. You see, we often surround ourselves with a cacophony of possessions, of desires, of ceaseless striving. In my life, I found that the more I let go, the richer I became. Not in the clink of coins, but in the whispers of wisdom that filled the space left behind. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound lessons from the legend. I remember a time in South Africa when I was practicing law. I lived a life you might call successful by modern standards. Yet, I felt a void, an emptiness that material comfort could not fill. It was in the act of shedding the layers, of embracing simplicity, that I found a direction that was aligned with the deepest truths of my being. Now I invite you to look at your own life. What surrounds you? Objects, gadgets, clutter, do these bring you peace, or do they distract from the stillness you seek? I once said, there is more to life than increasing its speed. In the relentless pursuit of more, we often overlook the essence of existence. Life is not a race to acquire, but a journey to discover. What you need is already within you, waiting to be revealed in the quiet moments that simplicity affords. As we walk through this lesson, let me share with you a story. In my ashram, we lived collectively, working with our hands, spinning cotton, and tilling the earth. There was immense joy in this simplicity. Each thread we spun was a meditation. Each seed we planted a prayer. The lesson here is that when you engage in simple, purposeful work, you are not just shaping the world, you are molding yourself. In your life, how often do you engage in work that is truly meaningful to you? Work that resonates with the core of who you are. Let's now turn to the second lesson, which is closely intertwined with the first, self-sufficiency. To be self-sufficient is to be free. Free from the endless cycle of desire and consumption that characterizes so much of modern life. When I returned to India, I advocated for the spinning wheel. It was not just a tool for making cloth, but a symbol of independence and self-reliance. In the act of spinning, we were not just creating material, but weaving the fabric of freedom. Each thread was a declaration that we would not be dependent on foreign cloth, that we would clothe ourselves from our own labors. Now consider your own life. Where does your dependence lie? Is it on the job you resent but cannot leave because it affords a certain lifestyle? Is it on the approval of others, which dictates the way you dress, the way you act, the way you live? To embrace self-sufficiency is to take control of your destiny. It is to say, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. It is to find joy in providing for your needs, to discover the wellspring of creativity that self-reliance nurtures. There was once a time when I was advised to take a more moderate stance, to not push so hard against the British Empire. But in my heart, I knew that compromise on the principles of self-sufficiency would be a betrayal of all that I stood for. In your life, when have you compromised your principles for convenience? When have you traded away a piece of your independence for temporary comfort? As we draw this part of our discussion to a close, let me leave you with this thought. Simplicity and self-sufficiency are not just about living with less or doing things for yourself. They are about discovering who you truly are beneath the layers of societal expectations, of material possessions, of conditioned desires. They are about coming home to yourself. And in this homecoming, you will find a power that is both gentle and invincible. For as I have said, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. In the next part of our conversation, we will explore the transformative impact of living simply and self-sufficiently on the world around us. But for now, let me ask you, what can you let go of today to make space for the essence of who you are? The Tapestry of Tranquility, weaving inner richness through simplicity and community. In the tranquil heart of simplicity, we've discovered a sanctuary where the soul's voice is audible. It is in this clarity we proceed to our next profound lesson, the art of cultivating inner richness. The art of cultivating inner richness is akin to tending to a garden. It requires patience, care, and a deep understanding of the conditions that allow for growth. In this garden, the fruits are those of character, wisdom, and inner peace. I recall the time I established the Sabarmati Ashram. The principles we followed were strict, but they were the fertile ground in which we could cultivate the inner richness of each individual. We lived simply, yet our lives were full of meaning. Each chore, no matter how small, was an opportunity to practice mindfulness and dedication. Now, I ask you, when was the last time you found depth in a simple task? A task that may seem mundane to the untrained eye but holds within it the potential for profound growth. Let me share with you a story that illustrates this principle. There was a young man who joined our community, accustomed to a life of relative comfort and ease. In the beginning, he struggled with the rigorous schedule and the simplicity of the tasks. But as time passed, he began to find a sense of inner stillness and joy in the work. He learned that the quality of his attention to the task at hand was directly proportional to the enrichment of his spirit. This is the art of cultivating inner richness. It is not about the task, it is about the presence you bring to it. Consider for a moment the clothes you wear. In my time, I encouraged the people of India to wear khadi, hand-spun and hand-woven cloth. Each garment made from khadi was rich with the story of the hands that spun it, the community that came together to create it. It was simple, yes, but it carried within it the inner richness of self-reliance and the collective spirit of a nation striving for freedom. And so, I invite you to look at your own life. What stories do your choices tell? Are they woven from the threads of conscious presence, community, and self-sufficiency? Or are they from an impersonal assembly line that knows not your name, your values, your quest for meaning? Moving forward to the third lesson, it is here we encounter the vibrant tapestry of community. The concept of community is deeply interwoven with the principles of simplicity and self-sufficiency. A community that thrives on these values fosters a sense of belonging, support, and shared purpose. In my own life, I have seen the transformative power of community. During the Salt March, it was not the act of one, but the collective will of many that shook the foundations of an empire. We were individuals from diverse backgrounds, but our shared belief in the right to live simply and to be masters of our own destiny united us. Here lies a question for you. How does your community shape you, and how do you shape it? The beauty of community lies in its reciprocity, the shared shaping and molding that occurs when individuals come together with a common vision. Remember that each one of us is like a single thread. Alone, we have strength, but when woven together, we create a fabric that can withstand the trials of time. And now, we arrive at the fourth lesson, which is the embodiment of all that we have learned, the expression of truth through living. In my life, I have strived to align my actions with my beliefs, to live my truth so fully that my life would be my message. I led by example, not merely by words. During the struggle for India's independence, I did not ask of anyone what I was not willing to do myself. I spun cotton, I marched, I endured imprisonment. It was through living my principles that I hope to inspire others to do the same. And so, I pose to you this inquiry: how does your life express the truths that you hold dear? Remember, it is the smallest of actions that weave the grand tapestry of your life's expression. As we conclude this part of our discourse, reflect on the art of cultivating inner richness, the embrace of community, and the expression of truth through living. These are not just lessons, but the very threads of a life woven with purpose and peace. In simplicity and self-sufficiency, we find a mirror reflecting our truest selves. It is in this reflection we see not just who we are, but who we can become. When you're ready to delve deeper into the next chapter of our exploration, let us turn the page together. But for now, let these lessons simmer in your heart as tea leaves in warm water, releasing their flavor slowly, thoughtfully, until it fills the cup of your understanding to the brim. The loom of legacy, weaving actions into eternal echoes. In the silence of introspection, we have discovered the melodies of simplicity and the rhythms of self-sufficiency. Now, let us embark on a journey to explore how these personal practices resonate beyond the self into the broader concerto of society. The fifth lesson in our exploration is the impact of personal choices on the collective consciousness. Every decision we make sends ripples through the fabric of our communities, influencing the world in ways both seen and unseen. Consider the impact of a single choice to embrace simplicity. When I chose to wear only khadi, it was not merely a personal preference but a statement against the exploitation inherent in the textile industry of the time. This simple act inspired a movement that altered the economic and political landscape of a nation. Now, pause and reflect on your own choices. What ripples are you sending out into the world with the way you live, the products you buy, the values you embody? Are they ripples of sustainability, equity, and respect, or are they of a different nature? The sixth lesson is the transformative power of collective action. When we unite in simplicity and self-sufficiency, our combined efforts can lead to monumental change. It is akin to the individual threads of a cloth, weak on their own but formidable when woven together. Instead of assaulting the gates, I laid siege quietly, cutting off supplies and sowing seeds of discontent within. I sent a small contingent of my forces to make noise and feints at the rear, drawing the enemy's attention. Meanwhile, I used the cover of night to scale a less guarded part of the wall with a select group of my finest soldiers. Once inside, we opened the gates from within. The city fell not because of brute force, but because of a new approach, a strategic innovation. Now, I invite you to consider your own capacity for strategic innovation. When confronted with a challenge that seems insurmountable, do you batter against it with tried and failed methods? Or do you step back and envision a new strategy, a novel approach that might catch your adversaries off guard? In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. The ones who seize this opportunity are those who think differently, who see beyond the conventional, and who are not afraid to venture into the uncharted. They are the innovators, the thinkers, the visionaries. The Dandy March was not merely a protest. It was a collective embodiment of our will to assert our right to self-determination. Thousands of footsteps, one after another, created a path that led not just to the sea to make salt, but towards our liberation from colonial rule. In your life, how can you participate in collective action? How can you contribute to the movements that resonate with your values and vision for the world? The seventh lesson is the sustainability of a society rooted in simplicity. A society that values simplicity is one that inherently looks towards sustainability, for it is in the essence of living with less that we find the balance with our natural world. The earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. When we live simply, we take only what we need, and we give the earth the chance to regenerate and provide for future generations. Consider this. How does your lifestyle align with the principles of sustainability? Are your daily habits nurturing the earth, or are they contributing to its depletion? In your own pursuits, whether they be professional or personal, you will encounter your own high walls and sturdy gates. Will you attempt to breach them in the same manner as those who have come before you, or will you find the gate left unguarded, the path untraveled? Strategic innovation requires courage, the courage to let go of old paradigms and embrace the uncertainty of new ones. It demands creativity, the creativity to envision possibilities where others see only obstacles. As we close this chapter on the principles of adaptability, remember that the greatest victory is not over your enemies, but over the rigidity of your own thinking. Embrace change, be flexible in your tactics, maintain acute situational awareness, and dare to innovate strategically. Now, as you step forth from this place of learning, take with you the essence of these lessons. Let them guide you in the ever-unfolding art of war and peace, in the grand strategy of your life. May your journey be marked by the triumphs of an adaptable mind, for in adaptability, there lies the true art of victory. As we draw the threads of these lessons together, we create a tablet of living philosophy, not just for ourselves but for all of humanity. This is the loom of legacy, the actions we take and the choices we make, woven into the eternal echoes of time. The eighth and final lesson for now is the enduring influence of a life lived in alignment with universal values. The legacy of simplicity and self-sufficiency is not confined to the years we walk this earth. It extends far beyond our physical presence. My life's journey has been a testament to the power of living by one's convictions. The path I chose was not easy, nor was it without its detractors. Yet, it was the unwavering commitment to my principles that has allowed my message to endure. As you contemplate your own legacy, ask yourself, how will the way you live your life echo through the ages? Will it be a whisper of harmony with the world, or will it be lost in the cacophony of time? In closing this chapter of our discourse, I invite you to carry these lessons with you as a lantern in the darkness, guiding not just your path but illuminating the way for others. The loom of legacy awaits your contribution, and with each choice, you weave your own history into the unending story of humanity. When you are ready, we shall continue our dialogue and discover new horizons within ourselves and the world we are a part of. Until then, let your actions speak the language of simplicity and self-sufficiency, for in that tongue is spoken the deepest truths of our existence. The horizon of harmony, confluence of self and civilization. As we approach the zenith of our introspective voyage, the lessons we have imbibed begin to cast their light onto the path of our collective future. Our journey thus far has been an inward spiral, navigating through the strata of personal transformation. Now, we pivot outward, contemplating the broader canvas where self and civilization converge. The ninth lesson directs our gaze to the stewardship of the earth. The ethos of simplicity and self-sufficiency should not merely be inscribed in the annals of personal conduct, but should extend to our guardianship of the planet. The fabric of life itself depends on the delicate balance of nature, and it is our sacred duty to ensure its continuance. Reflect upon the manner in which you interact with nature's bounty. Does the touch of your hand tend to the nurturing of the world's gardens, or does it unwittingly pluck the petals from the very blossoms it admires? The stewardship of Earth is not a task assigned to the select few. It is a privilege and responsibility that falls to each of us. The 10th lesson is the cultivation of peace and nonviolence as cornerstones of a civilized society. The principles of ahimsa, nonviolence, that I championed are not mere passive resistance, but active forces that can dissolve the barriers of hatred and conflict. It is the strength that comes from the highest courage, the courage of love. In your interactions, consider how you can be an ambassador of peace. How can your words, your silence, your actions, and even your inactions contribute to the tapestry of tranquility in a world brimming with discord? The 11th lesson is the embrace of unity in diversity. Our world is a mosaic of cultures, beliefs, and perspectives. The recognition and appreciation of this diversity are essential to the construction of a society that thrives on the synergy of its varied parts. Ask yourself, how do you honor the myriad hues of humanity? Do you seek to understand, to learn, and to grow from the encounters with the other? True unity does not lie in the erasure of differences, but in the celebration of them. Lastly, the 12th lesson is the recognition of our interconnectedness. The principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world as one family, is not merely a philosophical concept but a reality that modern science echoes. Everything is interconnected. Our actions have far-reaching consequences, and thus we must act with mindfulness and compassion. As you move through the world, bear in mind that the threads of your life are interwoven with those of others, known and unknown. What tapestry will you create with the threads at your disposal? Will it be one that tells a story of respect, kinship, and love, or will it unravel at the seams? In concluding our discourse, let us not view this as an end, but as a threshold to a new beginning. The horizon of harmony is not a distant dream, but a possible reality that begins with the steps we take today. Carry forth these lessons as you would carry a torch in the depths of night, casting light upon the paths of others while guiding your own way. Remember that in simplicity, self-sufficiency, and the conscious interlacing of our actions with the greater good, we find the true essence of a life well lived. Let the horizon of harmony be our guiding star as we each embark on our unique yet interconnected journeys. May the confluence of self and civilization birth a new dawn of collective consciousness, where every individual effort culminates in the prosperity of our shared home, Earth.